I have another great recommendation for my neurodiverse, different thinking, unconventional leader brains. Hidden Potential, Adam Grant. Fabulous book. Written content, even better in audio. He mixes in some different audio clips and so forth, which really makes it intriguing and fun. So there you go, 20 seconds. I've given you the best tip already. Now I'm going to deep dive a little bit more in how this book I felt also connected to the neurodiverse community, the unconventional thinkers that I am working with all the time. So one of the ways that I wrote a whole article, I want you to read it. It's down below as a link to it. So one of the ways this really did do that is obviously the, hidden potential. It's that portion of people that we are maybe missing, that they are not walking around being the loudest person in the room telling us they're great at something. It requires observation. It requires engagement. It requires us to pay a little more attention. And one of the things I talk about in this article and in tying in this to unconventional leaders is the fact that so often, in particular, I see a merge between my unconventional leaders and my different thinkers, with those with ADHD, dyslexia, autism. And where I really see that is in the hiring process. And I share a great story of a client I had that was really, really complaining about the fact they had no good help for their business. They were having a horrible time hiring. And I immediately said, I think there's a lot of people trying to find jobs. Let's look at that a little further. And I tell the story of how this leader, she actually applied for a job within her company under a little, kind of like what was that show? The Undercover Boss. She kind of applied for this job to see how the hiring process went. And she was qualified and not overqualified for the position. Like we staged it. Anyhow, you can read about it in the article. In the end, she came to recognize they had major breakdowns in their system. And in particular, there was almost no way for a different thinker to get through their system to actually be hired. And one of the breakdowns was in what she was trying to do, and in her manufacturing company, they were in such a growth phase. They needed different thinkers. They needed people that thought outside of the box, and they were barely grabbing the best people that colored inside the box. And so I talk about that in far more detail in the article. Leaders aren't born polished, right? They're made in the awkward middle where experiments feel clumsy, feedback stings, and progress is hard to see up close. This article is inspired by Adam Grant's Hidden Potential, and it looks at some of that. Part of my mission is to build cultures that reveal strengths you can't see on a resume and that many hiring funnels unintentionally filter out. And so I talk a bit about that. Then I also talk about the role that we play with each other and as leaders in demonstrating a comfort with different thinkers or people that think outside of what's conventional for us, and how important it is. It's good to surround yourself with like-minded people. It's also important to make sure you have a little bit of diversity in that thinking, or you will get very siloed and you will miss out on opportunities. And right now, with AI coming on the scene so hot and heavy, you don't have time to miss out on opportunities. You want feedback and ideas fast, hard, and a lot of them. So if you're a leader and you are not wrapped around that framework yet, I'm just telling you, you need to get wrapped around that framework very quickly, very, very soon, or you're going to have different problems. In particular, also in the article, I talk about different thinkers in leadership and being those unconventional and hidden potential types of things for a lot of people. Working under an unconventional leader turns out to be something that really moves them more into their strengths, and they know that, and it's not something that's easy to replace, and it creates a loyalty and a definite engagement, which is quite outstanding. He talks in Hidden Potential about a chess teacher. It's a great, great story. I'm not going to deprive you of any of it. I've actually seen the gentleman interviewed on 60 Minutes. Quite profound. I love, and I go in depth in the article, that teacher, when numerous people asked him, well, how did you get these students engaged? These, like they didn't seek you out and be like, I want to be a chess player. No, not at all. He immediately explained that, well, he showed them how it could be fun. And I think so often about when people first get hired for jobs, or even when they're applying, things can get so granular and so down in the nitty-gritty. We forget to help things look fun and engaging and demonstrate all of the possibility that is there. And I break that down in the article for you to check out. Hidden potential isn't I love this. Hidden potential is not motivational wallpaper. That's something AI wrote for me. And I went, oh, that's good. We're keeping that sentence. A whole bunch of other stuff left the article. It had good ideas, but they were a little dry. I added a lot more story. It's an operating system that says excellence is built, not found, for founders, entrepreneurs, professionals who game for fun, and anyone who doesn't feel like they fit traditional molds. This mindset is liberating. You don't need permission to begin. You need to practice. You need to try things. Normalize learning in public. We need to get a lot more comfortable with learning in public and making sure we praise that and engage in it. Design environments where strengths, signals show up fast. Challenging people more comfortably in environments that embrace that allows us to find strengths a lot sooner. And making sure that we make better gates and not tighter ones. So when people are applying, we're actually seeing their greater strengths. I am Georgina, Unconventional Leadership Coach. Huge fan of books in all forms and highly recommending this book for you. And if you want to learn more about adding and finding those hidden potential people within your environment or in your leadership style, I'm the person to help coach you and bring that out. I would love to have a conversation. You can schedule a free coaching call. Don't miss out on that opportunity. It kind of feels like a no-brainer. Anyways, I'm Georgina, Unconventional Leadership Coach, International Neurodiversity Coach, and champion for those that think outside the box. Bye now.